people that want to see it afterwards, of course. And this is part of our continuing education course. This is week number, I think we're on 5 now, right? So this is week number 5. And this is essential skincare. If you've missed any of the previous videos, simply go to the Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade Oils page, and you can see the old videos there, or you can go to my YouTube channel and see the videos there. And if you want credit for this, for the continuing education, so you can get your certificate and get certified as an essential oil expert, then make sure you watch those videos and that you also get the form where you can fill out showing that you've watched the videos, and then we'll get you your certificate. So after you've watched the 8, you know, either come live or watch them, then you can get certified. So let me get started for you. And today,
want me to post the link in the chat for that?
I do. Yeah, I posted it in a lot of the chats, and I'll go back through after today and post. When I post this one, I'll post it again. So I'll keep, it's the same link, but I like to have updates. I'll tell you why the link is so important. When you guys fill out what you learned from these events, it really helps me understand what you guys don't already know, because I've been in doTERRA for 6 years, and sometimes we forget when we've been, you know, that far with something, we forget what it was like when we first joined. And some of you guys have questions and gaps in your knowledge. Like you might have been in doTERRA for a few years, and I'm realizing that you don't know everything, because of course you don't. I don't know everything either, right? And as I hear your responses to what you learned, picked up in the classes, that really helps me to know where those gaps are. And I'm going to start tailoring my classes to fill in those gaps so that you don't have holes in your knowledge, so you are comfortable, you know, using the oils and you're getting your questions answered. So thank you for that link. We put that up there. Okay, you got the link there, yeah. So that just shows you that you've been here too. And the YouTube link, do you have the YouTube link handy, Barbara or Faith, either one of you? If you don't, I'll go ahead and post it towards the end here when we're doing questions and answers. I'll go find it and post it for you in the chat so you have that YouTube link and you can get to that easily. So we'll go ahead and get started with our skincare. So, you know, we all have issues with our skin. I don't know if anybody's 100% happy with their skin. You know, this is the skin we're born with, right? And through our lives, we mess with it, we damage it, we do all kinds of things to ourselves, right? But we all have things we like and don't like about our skin and about the way we appear to others. And a lot of times we want to fix those. And, you know, sometimes you like my husband will say something like, well, you're being kind of vain. I'm like, no, it's not even about you. It's not even about people I see, because I don't see anybody anymore, right? It's about me. I like to look in the mirror and see somebody I recognize and see me looking the best I can possibly look, right? And we all want to be, we all want to be able to look our best, because it makes us feel good, right? So understanding our skin is a way that we can improve those things. So think about some things you want to improve, and you may have specific things. For some of us, it might be, you know, for me, if I was going to improve my skin, you know, I would definitely like less wrinkles as I get older. I'm 56 now, so the wrinkles are coming, and I definitely want to you know, make that take as long as possible, because nobody wants to look their age, right? Not when we're older. So I definitely want to do that. Everybody wants more brightening on their face. A lot of people want more, you know, it's hard because in this, what is it, social media and TV world, we see all those perfect people out there that have a ton of makeup on. So of course their face is all the same color with the highlights at just the right places and stuff, because they've got professionals doing their makeup. And we're not going to look like that. So we're not going to try to look like that. We're going to do the best with the skin that we have, right? And look our best. So some of the things that bother some of us from time to time is going to be something like redness. So redness is usually rooted, obviously, in inflammation. That's what causes the redness. And it can be temporary. It might be, you know, some people when they work out, they get really, really red. My daughter's one of those. I mean, when she does even the slightest bit of exercise, she is like beet red, freaks me out, you know. And then sometimes we have inflammation caused by things. You know, you're sweating, or you might be inflamed. You might have a condition that you want to get that redness out. So here's some of the products that doTERRA recommends. So we've got Yarrow Palm, and Yarrow Palm is something I use every day. It is an excellent blend for keeping your face, I guess, moisturized without being, I don't like moisturizers generally. Yarrow Palm is moisturizing without being, I guess, greasy is the way I would explain it. And I use that every night before bed, and I try to remember to use it again in the morning, because I do want to bring in that moisture to my skin, especially as I'm getting older. Correctix is another one. If you have imperfections on your face, especially if you're dealing with blemishes, or you might have cuts, scrapes, or whatever on your face, Correctix will help heal it faster. So that's a really good product to use. And that also can be used other places on your body, obviously. It's designed for cuts, scrapes, and things like that to help it heal faster and help it heal better, to get the cells performing optimally. And you can use that anywhere pretty much on your body. So I'll use it sometimes on my cuticles if I trim my cuticles. On a paper cut, definitely, because paper cuts used to always get infected whenever I got a paper cut. And I put Correctix on it now when I do that, and I don't get infections anymore from that. So I'm thrilled about how that works. Helichrysum is one of the ones we know is really responsible for getting rid of scar tissue. So super healing at a cellular level, as well as frankincense, again, healing at a cellular level. So what we want is good cells, and we all want that wonderful cell turnover we had when we were in our 20s, right? So the essential oils can help that along and help our cells perform more optimally. So that's a great one. Then we've got scars. So scars, they'll fade over time, but, obviously we want to minimize the color and the size, and we want to speed that healing process, because some scars, and we've all had scars, I'm sure. I have a lot of scars, and some of them can take a really long time to heal. And if they're on our face, certainly it's going to bother us. And even people who might have really major scars other places on their body. And I'm reminded of a scar I had, and I got it, it must have been about 12. And I got it because I was ironing a shirt. We were about to go to the airport, and I was ironing a shirt on the ironing board. And of course, I took off my shirt to iron it. So I was exposed in the middle, and I somehow got the iron right against my tummy and made a nice, beautiful scar right there, just below my belly button. And it took years for that scar to go away. That was when I was a kid. And I wish I'd had these products then, because at 12, you're kind of, a little bit self-conscious about your body and how you look to others. And so it would have been nice to have been able to get rid of that at that time faster. It did eventually go away in time, because scars will go away in time. It gets harder the older we get. So some of the ones we use for that are some of the same things that we use a lot of times for blemishes on the face. It's the geranium, super healing to the skin. Again, frankincense, we like it in the touch version also for scarring, because then we can use it regularly, and it has the carrier oil to help it absorb into your body better. The neroli, also another really good one for the skin. And then back to the yarrow palm, which is that is absolutely a wonderful blend of oils. In fact, a lot of us are using the yarrow palm in the body serum. We're using the yarrow palm oil caps on our face. And some people are taking the yarrow palm capsules that doTERRA has, which also helps with the whole beauty regimen. Then we have issues maybe with breakouts. We can break out at any age. They're associated usually with food sensitivities, hormones, or bacteria. And, when we talk about this, I'm reminded of my daughter, my stepdaughter, because she has such a severe issue with breakouts. If she eats sugar, if she eats dairy, if she eats gluten, it, because she'll break out. In fact, if she gets too much sun, she will break out all over her face and her back, and it's absolutely miserable. And you can get that from different things. That's probably for her, she's in her early 20s. It might be hormone or bacteria related. You can get it when you have food sensitivities to certain things. Trying to figure out what you're sensitive to is a really difficult process. But you have to go through that to figure, to not have those breakouts, because your body definitely doesn't like whatever that is that's making you break out, right? And so we look at the common ones, the gluten, dairy, and what are they? Gluten, dairy, I said the other one, what was it? Sugar. Sugar is a big one. Sugar is huge for breakouts. We used to think it was chocolate. It's not really chocolate, it's sugar. So if you do like chocolate, go towards that darker chocolate, and you won't have a problem with the breakouts like you get with the milk chocolate, which has a lot of sugar in it. The products we recommend, of course, the HD Clear. That is a roller that is designed to go directly on your face. Same with the Rose, also a roller directly on your face. Rose I find really good for things like crow's feet and some of the wrinkling, as well as when you are breaking out, because Rose is a very healing oil. And of course, we all know tea tree oil, which is what it's called now. This was called Melaleuca back in the old days. But that tea tree oil is phenomenal specifically for breakouts and blemishes on your face. And those should be, I will warn you, if you use tea tree oil on your face, you should put it in a carrier oil, which means you need to have an oil that you feel comfortable putting on your face. Some of the ones that I recommend are avocado oil and argan oil. A lot of oils are just too heavy for our faces. I don't do well with a lot of coconut oil on my face, so I don't recommend that one myself. I like some of the finer oils when you're dealing with your face skin. But if it's somewhere else on your body, you can be comfortable using like the fractionated coconut oil that doTERRA has. Then, of course, brown spots. So this is something, we can start at any age, but we tend to see them more as we get older, right? And our hormone shifts again. And that can happen, of course, with a lot of sun exposure that we've had. And I live in Southern California now. And because I'm living here, I am outside a lot and I get a lot of sun. And so I need to protect my skin. And you're going to get some age spots over time. And we don't like those because they make us look older, right? So when we want to get rid of those, we can use some oils to help with that, and other pigmentation that might just be hormonally related. So you'll see this a lot in young women. They get different pigmentation a lot of times on their face and on their skin, and that is caused by a hormonal shift. And so when that happens, you know, obviously they don't like that, and they want to use something to get rid of it. So some of the recommended products, again, frankincense, which we've discussed before, black spruce, sandalwood, and lavender are good ones to add at this point. So if you're specifically looking for something for brown spots on your skin, try using these oils. Now, I will say I've done some of this and it does work. However, if you stop doing it, it's not like they magically went away. That's not what happens. These keep it from being very dark and showing up really well. But if you stop using the product, after a few weeks, they will come back. So it is something that you would have to do probably forever, because it's not like something we're fixing, right? It's just something we're controlling. Then aging, of course. So what is the symptoms of age? Well, I know firsthand. It's those fine lines, those wrinkles, that loose skin. And so we want to age more gracefully by using these natural products. And so some of the products we recommend when we're aging is to use something like Immortelle, amazing blend of the top quality, you know, really intense oils that are designed for cellular turnover in your skin. And so Immortelle is an absolutely wonderful one. A bunch of us got it for free last month, so hope you enjoyed that. That's a nice thing to have, right? And then frankincense, of course. Myrrh works really well with frankincense. A lot of times if you use frankincense and myrrh together, it intensifies the effect of both oils, and both of those are healing oils. And then, of course, neroli, again, one of our face oils. You're seeing a lot of these over and over again because they do solve multiple problems. So some of the ones I see over and over again that solve a lot of our facial problems is frankincense. Frankincense is probably one of the best oils overall if you're trying to get really good skin. So this is garbage in, right? Garbage out. And I just want to show you that so you really understand when you eat very poorly, your skin is going to show that. And if you see people that eat really well, people that eat really well have excellent skin. And that's because they're not putting a bunch of garbage into their bodies generally. So that is something to remember. Now, when you're talking about that, okay, how can we make the stuff that goes in our body better so that we can look better, right? So we can feel better and look better. And this is one of the main things. You need to have some kind of nutrients. We're not getting enough nutrients from our food anymore because our food is not the same as it was. And now we need to add something to our food supply to make sure we're filling in those holes in our diets. So doTERRA came out with this pack of products that is designed to fill in those holes. And some of those holes are huge. Omega-3 is a huge hole. None of us are getting enough omega-3s. It is really, really hard to get enough omega-3 in your regular diet. So we supplement that with whole food sources, which is how these are designed. All whole food, totally natural. The VMZ is your basic vitamins, and those are vitamins that a lot of times we might be missing. So we as human beings tend to eat the same things over and over again. It's just normal, right? And there's a lot of things you'll eat regularly. I mean, I don't know a week that doesn't go by that I don't have some form of spaghetti, right? And I don't know a week that doesn't go by that I don't have chicken. So I eat a lot of the same things regularly, but that means I've got holes in my diet because I'm not getting some of those more obscure things. You know, so I'm gonna go a whole week or, you know, whatever, or even months or whatever without eating a certain nutrient and not getting that in my body. And our body needs those nutrients pretty much daily. So doTERRA created this pack, and it has the vitamins. It's got the omega-3s with the vitamin D, and it does have the alpha CRS. And the alpha CRS is a wonderful blend of mostly herbs, actually. And these are herbs that really help support cellular vitality in your body, which is what we want, because everything at cellular level. If our cells were perfect, I guess we'd be kind of perfect, wouldn't we? So we do want to start healing those. So again, we're inside out. We're healing from the inside out. You can see some of the, I don't need to read these, but the foundational skin nutrients that are in there. Obviously, you recognize a lot of these names, and those are the things that we want to get into our body so that we can heal from the inside out. And then if you wanted some more internal support, because everybody has little problems. We all have a lot of problems, right? And everybody's got their own unique set of problems. So one of the ones is if you really struggle with your skin and you know, collagen, and you're getting old or whatever, the Yaropalm capsules would be a great thing to add to your regular routine of capsules and vitamins that you take. Or you might be somebody who has a lot of digestive issues. Now, severe digestive issues, the best thing you can use is Terrazyme. And we have DigestZen, Zengest, right? And we have the soft gels, but we also have Terrazyme. And Terrazyme is a DigestZen product as well. It's designed for digestion. It has a lot of the enzymes in it that help support us. And it also is really good, you know, when we have angry red skin. Then we have PB Assist. That is our probiotic. So I do like, I like that this has a prebiotic already in it, because a lot of us don't get prebiotics regularly, and a lot of us don't get probiotics regularly because they are kind of obscure and hard to find. And honestly, we don't tend to, as North Americans, I don't think most of us tend to eat the diet that would have a lot of natural probiotics in it. I mean, some of you might have tried kombucha. I tried it. I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to drink that. I'm sorry, that is just really weird. And I think a lot of people feel the same way. So sometimes we have to supplement, and we supplement with probiotics. Now, when do we need probiotics? We need them when our system's been attacked. So if you've been taking antibiotics, you might need to add some probiotics to your regimen for a few weeks after you get off those antibiotics to bring back in that friendly bacteria and rebalance your gut, right? Because we don't want to end up having, you know, problems, and we don't want to break out because our gut's doing poorly. So that will balance our good bacteria, and it helps a lot if you have gut issues. So if you have gut inflammation, you probably know if you do, because you have a lot of indigestion, you may have struggled with eating a lot of foods that might make you feel sick, right? And you'll know. And if you do know, then probiotics is something that you want to bring in on a regular basis. It's not that you have to take them every day. A lot of times these are taken for, you know, a few weeks at a time, and then you go off of them for a few weeks and you go back on them. That's a very common way people take it. There's some people who have serious gut issues, they may take it all the time because they have a lot of gut inflammation. Then the thing we can do for free, okay? The easiest thing to do, drink lots and lots of your water, right? Remember how much you're supposed to drink, half your body weight in ounces. And that's hard. I mean, if you look at your body weight, I mean, you know, some people, if you're weighing like 150, 200 pounds, you're talking about a lot, you know, 75 to 100 ounces of water a day. That is a lot of water. And if it doesn't taste good, or if it's just boring, you can add some grapefruit oil or lemon oil to your water, and that improves its detoxification benefits. But one of the problems we have is we don't, as a culture, tend to drink enough water. You know, a lot of times it isn't around. A lot of us might have personal reason we don't want to drink water before certain events. I mean, if you're going to be busy doing something, a lot of times you're not going to drink water because you don't want to have to get up and go to the bathroom, right? So there's lots of reasons we forego the water, but you've got to get that water. So find times of the day when you can really guzzle some water and get it in your system. You don't need to do more than that, but you do need to do at least that if you want your skin to be healthy. Then you choose a skincare line. Now, doTERRA has several skincare lines to choose from, and you can either mix and match, or you can pick something specific. So I'll tell you what I know about each of them. I have tried Virage. I like Virage because it is so natural. It is about the closest thing to nature that you can get with a beauty care product without anything weird in it. It's fairly expensive. It's one of the more expensive lines. The thing I liked best in that one was their moisturizer. The moisturizer is phenomenal. But I did find it a little bit pricey, and they didn't particularly like some of the other products in it. And other people will vary. I mean, other people say that they love the Virage line and that's their favorite. So everybody's gonna have their own choices. So I don't tend to use a lot of the Virage products. And this is a HD Clear facial kit. Now this is really designed for that teenage young adult age range, although some adults still use it as they get older. It definitely was designed for that younger age group. And this is something my girls used a lot when they were in high school. This worked really well at keeping those blemishes under control. And if they have acne prone skin and they want to have clear skin, they can use this. This particular product line. It is a set of three things. There's a wash, there's a lotion, and then there's a roller ball, which is, we kind of call it a spot, spot thing. So if you break out in a little zit, you can rub it over there. It'll help dry it out and everything. So that is designed mostly for that age group. Now we have a skincare line. Now this is my favorite line. And it's because I think it's very all-encompassing. It has all the different things you want at various ages, and definitely as you get older, right? So I do like all the different products. There is an eye cream. I love the way they did that, so I don't have to touch it with my finger, because you shouldn't be applying things to your eyes with your finger. Finger's bad, okay? So you don't want to do that. So I like the way that was designed. Next to it, I'm going right to left. Next to it, at the bottom, you see a hydrating cream. I use that regularly. I love that cream. And I use that under, I use that under makeup when I go out. So that's really great. And then the thing above it is what I use for very dark spots. It's, what is it called? What it's called, but I use it for dark spots. And again, I don't have to touch it with my finger. It has a thing where you push it up and you can just rub it over the spots. There is a anti-aging moisturizer in here. It's really nice. And that one I'll use a lot of times if I'm going out. You know, I tend to use it more when I go out. There's a toner, of course. There is also a absolutely wonderful facial cleanser. Now, the facial cleanser, I think, is a really good price point. This line is a good price point. I think this is, it's probably, for what it is, because it's all natural, it's cheaper than anything I've seen like it. So I usually shop at maybe Sprouts or something, right? And this is the least expensive line I've ever seen. And the facial cleanser, when I use it, and I don't know how many of you guys use it, but when I use it, I feel like I'm squirting like fairy dust out of the tube, because it's beautiful. It's white and it has these like silver, it seems like it's glowing white even. It's got these like silver flakes in it, it looks like to me when I'm using it. So I love it, and I love the way it smells. So when I open that bottle and I pour just a little bit on my hands, I rub it together, I start wiping it over my face, I feel wonderful. And then it leaves this like silky residue when you're done. So I try to do my face, and I try to get this area here too with that. And then there's an invigorating scrub. I will warn you about scrubs. They should not be used as often as we think. Scrubs should only be used once a week, because when you're scrubbing your skin and you're using anything harsh on your skin, you open up the possibility for infection, and you open up the possibility to tear your skin. So all these items were designed with that in mind. Like the facial cleanser is super, super mild, so that you can use it every day. But the invigorating scrub, because the scrub is designed to like scrub your skin, you do not want to use that daily. That should really only be once a week. I'm gonna jump into my chat really fast. Okay, so Barbara using, yes, tea would replace the water, except for if it has caffeine in it. Whenever you intake caffeine, you need more water. So if the tea has caffeine in it, it will kind of replace the water, but not as much as you think, simply because of the caffeine content. Okay, and then yeah, I do like it better than a professional facial. Yeah, and it's a very mild set, and I really enjoy this line, and so hopefully you will too. And you can buy these individually. You can buy them as a set. You can also get discounts on them. So doTERRA has discounts on partials of the set, because some people use certain things. And to get this set at the best price, you would have to be on the loyalty program. Because if you're on the loyalty rewards program, they have a special set that saves you a bunch of money. So hopefully you guys will take advantage of that if you decide that works for you. So if you want to have good skin, what do? Okay, so you want to have your nutrients, you want to have your vitamins. And so I should actually even go back here a little bit. First of all, let's get your diet good, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. Perfection's overrated, right? You don't have to be perfect. We all like to indulge a little bit. But your diet needs to be reasonably good. And then you supplement your diet with these vitamins, because you don't want to have a perfect diet. Now, if you want to eat, directly from the earth, and you're willing to eat everything just kind of, to me, it would be kind of boring. I enjoy a piece of cake every once in a while. I enjoy some things I know are probably not as healthy for me. And so what do? Instead, I just take the vitamins. That'll take care of the holes that I have, that I've created because I didn't eat perfect one day. And every once in a while, I'll wake up and say, you know what? I need donuts. I'm sorry, but I know I shouldn't eat them, but I need donuts. So every once in a while, I'll have a donut day. And I just take my vitamins, because I know I'm not going to get my nutrients that day, because I ate a whole bunch of my calories in donuts. So you can take the Lifelong Vitality Pack. Then you can add the Terrazyme if you're having gut issues, or if you have enzyme issues. So Terrazyme also has an enzyme in it that's really good for people who are sensitive to gluten. So like my girls, I have 2 girls that are sensitive to gluten. My third is not. So they use the Terrazyme to help them with the gluten sensitivity, so they can eat the foods. And then we have the PB Assist, or probiotic. That'll help your skin quite a bit. And then you pick out your skincare line. So this is just a suggestion here if you did the Raj line. And then when you buy these together, you're going to be at a high enough level where you can get whatever the free oil of the month is. And this month it's fennel, right? I think it's fennel this month. So each month it'll be something different. I like the month they have the Neoli, because Neoli is also a skin oil. And right now that's kind of my focus, is my skin. So I've already solved the other problems. I have energy. I'm at I think a fairly ideal weight. And right now my major issue is trying to keep my skin good throughout this, the summer when I'm outside a lot. Now, we always finish up these things with talking a little bit about the business of doTERRA, just because people are curious. So if you're curious, stick around, because we're going to talk a little bit, maybe 10 minutes or less, about what we're doing in doTERRA. We're building our pipelines. So a bunch of people that are here today are building our pipelines, because we found that there's 3 types of people in the world. There's people that want to live the wellness lifestyle. There's people who want to share this lifestyle so that they get their products paid for, because they can afford to buy everything they want, right? And then there's people who are building to earn an income and really make an impact in the world, in the whole world around them. And those are people who are really dedicating a lot of time and energy to sharing doTERRA with everybody out there and finding ways to reach people. And so where are you right now? So traditionally, we have a job, we're trading dollars for hours. We have a limit on advancements in earnings. We have limited time freedom, and we're building somebody else's dream. So with an authentic direct sales company, and there's a few, Tupperware was authentic, and there's Amway and some other things. These develop a true residual income. There's no limits on your advancements in earnings, and you have the freedom to choose your schedule, and you get to build your dream. And the reason people like doTERRA, there's a few things. I think one is you're never forced to buy anything. And I think that's wonderful, because that's where, network marketing organizations have gotten a bad rap, because a lot of them do force you to buy stuff. You're not forced to buy with doTERRA. They're tested, they're trusted. We have over 9 million customers now. They're used by doctors and hospitals worldwide. They're the largest essential oil company in the world, even though they're only 12 years old. And their growth rate has been phenomenal. They have a really good retention rate. Once somebody uses oils and the other products and they start using them, they're not going anywhere, because there's nowhere to go up. You can't find a better product, so they don't go anywhere. And they create these partnerships with growers around the world to help them also get themselves out of poverty and to create an absolutely wonderful product line for us. They are privately owned, and they are debt-free. They do not fund anything from anybody else, which means that they're providing the very best to you, and they can afford to do that. They can afford to provide the absolute best. So I'm going to tell you a little story. And this story is about a man who was hauling buckets for a living. He lived in a small town, and in this town, they didn't have a water source. So in order to bring water, because we all need water, right? We just talked about that. So in order to get water to his town, he would have to go to the big town several miles away and fill up actual buckets. So he got a stick out, got his 2 buckets on there, and he's hauling buckets all day, back and forth, back and forth. That's what he did for a living. He provided water to the town for a living. And if he wanted to earn more money, he just hauled buckets longer, right? He worked more hours, hauled more buckets. And then finally, one day, inspiration came to him, and he said, oh my gosh, I am doing this the hard way. There's got to be a way I can just bring the water to the town. So he started building this pipeline, several miles long. It took him a long time. So in his spare time, he's building this pipeline so that he can bring water to his town. And then one day, he turned on the spigot, and his world changed, because now he had this pipeline. He could sell water to his town, and it was coming into the pipeline. He wasn't having to work anymore. His work was done, and he no longer had to depend on the number of hours he worked to determine his income. So then people ask, how do you make money in doTERRA? Well, it's actually simple. We sample people, we teach people, or we can invite them to things like this so they can be taught. We enroll people in doTERRA, we help them save money, and we help them use the products they bought. We give them good support in helping them change their lives. We find out what they want. What do you want to do different? Do you want more energy? Do you want to get rid of a problem you're struggling with? Do you want to look better? Do you want to feel better? Do you just love the smell of the wonderful oils? Whatever it is, this is how we make our money, right? And then we have income opportunities. As we grow with doTERRA, we have the ability to earn more and more money with doTERRA through this growing process. It's a process. You're building a business from scratch. And so we're all building our pipelines. That's what I'm doing here. I'm building my pipeline, and the people who are on my team that are here, they're also building their pipelines. And so, when I want to give my testimony about residual income, what it means to me, at the age of 56, I do worry that there's a time where I'm not gonna be able to work. And so it's important for me to develop something now so that I'm not gonna be reliant on my government, assuming they still exist, right, after COVID. But, I don't want to be reliant on them when I get older. I want to be able to retire and still make enough money that I can enjoy life, because I don't want to be one of those people that's a burden on anybody else when I get older either. So then we ask how much time is involved. And, basically, if you want to pay for your product, you probably have to spend 3 to 5 hours a week working on doTERRA, sharing it with other people. If you want to supplement your income, you're going to need work more hours. And that's a supplemental income. So it's a side business, it's a side income. And then, of course, our end goal is a lot of us want to replace our income. So we're going to spend more hours on it. And we may not be able to at first. At first, we're probably going to supplement our income until we see income coming in. And as that grows, at some point, we'll be able to switch over to replace our income and quit our jobs. So that when that reached that point for me, I quit law school and decided this is what I wanted to do for a living. So then you find out, can it work for you? It works for everybody. I mean, I have talked to people on my team that are so shy. You get over it. As you learn more about doTERRA, as you learn more about what people want, and if you really just care about people, then this will work for you. And you're following the systems. We put the systems in place to make it easy for you. Nobody has to recreate anything. Everything's been created for you. In fact, this presentation you're watching was not created by me. I added a couple little things, but I like to do that. But this presentation was created by somebody way in my upline. And that's great because that's what always happens. You get this information from somebody in your upline. You don't have to recreate anything. So then the next step is just figuring out, what kind of person you are. If you want to share or build with doTERRA, then obviously let us know. And then we can go to the Business Made Easy presentation, which I do twice a month now. And you can also get on dailymentorcalls.com if you're curious about how you really get started in this as a business. So that is my presentation for today. And I want to answer questions now because I'm sure people have some questions. Questions, guys. Somebody must have a question.
How do you get on those mentor calls again?
It's Daily Mentor Calls.
Yeah, I saw that lady today, but I couldn't figure out how to get on it.
Katie, if you do a search for
Elise
calls on Google, it will be the first thing that shows up. It's so easy to access.
Oh, is it free from her website?
It's free, yes.
Oh, I thought it was something I'd have to pay for on her website.
Ooh, it's free. Completely free.
I thought it was coming
training in doTERRA is free. You shouldn't have to pay for training. You don't have to ever pay for training with doTERRA. That's why I do things for free.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so you can learn from there. So yeah, go to the Daily Mentor Calls, Katie, and we'll help you out. And that'll give you, some people have been through it. Like Faith, you've gone through some of the Daily Mentor Calls, haven't you? Find the button. It's there somewhere, Faith. I swear it's there. There you go.
I was actually on a different screen looking for the Daily Mentor Calls. I was going to post the website, but
it's super
yeah,
easy.
yeah.
Okay,
very informative. It's really good.
Good. Okay, so you've been through. How far are you in the Daily Mentor Calls?
40 something.
Oh, you're almost done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. Okay, Barbara, you've been doing the Mentor Calls as well, right?
Yes, I'm not too far though. I've been too busy.
That's okay. Hey, you know what? That's the whole beauty about this. It's in your own time. Some people take a long time to get moving with this business. They earn just a little bit of money. They might earn $50 or $100 or $200 a month, but there's nothing wrong with that, right? We're building a business and it has to be on your own time because, my biggest concern is my family. Family comes first, right? You only get one of those. So we want to take good care of our family. Business has to come second. And I don't know if Selena's doing the Daily Mentor Calls yet. So if you want to say anything about that, if anybody else has anything to say about the Daily Mentor Calls, I thought they were absolutely wonderful. I've been through the whole thing now, and I do absolutely adore the Daily Mentor Calls. And I don't know if you guys have all had the same experience that I did. Are you kind of feeling the same way that these calls are really helpful?
I haven't joined them yet, Jenny.
You have? Oh, good. Okay.
Not yet.
Yeah. And if anybody else
have good ideas.
Yeah, and it's free. It's meant for everybody. So anybody can learn. Even before you join doTERRA, if you want to just learn to see what we're doing and see what is involved in case you do decide to join and do it as a building, in a building state, or if you just are a customer or user or you're just curious, all this information is out there. doTERRA is so transparent. I think that's one of the things I love compared to like Young Living, because Young Living, their transparency is not there. I struggle finding information when I'm looking for it. I can't seem to find it, and I can always find it in doTERRA, and there just seems to be a lot more of doTERRA out there, which is why I prefer them, because it is all that transparency makes it easier for us to be successful as future leaders with doTERRA. So any other questions from anybody who's here? Let's see who's here.
The thing I really loved about the Daily Mentor Calls is I went through and listened to all of them before I actually started doing anything, which I know isn't recommended, but I really loved it because then I actually knew what the whole building process was all about. I knew where I was actually headed instead of, because I'm not a person that likes just a little reveal every day. I like to kind of see the big picture and see where I'm actually headed.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I did the same thing. As soon as I found out about those calls, I just started plowing through them, like, just boom, just right through them as fast as I could. And maybe that wasn't the best way to do it. A lot of people take their time with it, and that's fine. But I plowed right through them because I was just curious, what happened at the end. I just wanted to find out all this stuff. So hopefully that's been really helpful to you guys that are building the business. And then we have some people here who might just be interested in the oils. Again, you don't have to build a business to do doTERRA, or it might just fall upon you. Like, you start using something, your friends see that you're you know, one of my girls, she lost 250 something pounds. So her friends see that she's lost all this weight and they're like, whoa, wait a minute, what are you doing? And so, boy, that's a conversation starter, right? So a lot of times we see, as you change your life, people start to gravitate towards you. And I'm seeing this in my own neighborhood because people are starting to see me as a more vibrant, active person than I was, because when I had fibromyalgia and I have struggling with the symptoms, I was in bed all the time. I wasn't terribly active. I wasn't active with my church because I was exhausted. I was tired all the time. And I was struggling with my own personal, you know, problems. And it wasn't until I started using the Lifelong Vitality Pack and getting my health under, you know, in check, that I was able to appear differently to people around me. And all you guys are experiencing the same thing. So for any of my people that are here, they're just users of the product and not interested in building, hopefully this has been, you know, enlightening, so you can see what we're all doing, because there's no secrets here. We're just all helping you, and that's what our job is, to help you you solve your problems. Does anybody have any product questions while I'm here? I want to make sure I answer any questions somebody might have, and I'm going to stop the recording right now before we do